this is what it is.
What?
If we can influence our simulation.
See, that disturbs me.
We're in a reality right now.
Who is influencing
I
that?
know.
Yeah, because
this is what I'm talking
that's
about.
what I'm saying. That it doesn't make sense, because if you are influencing,
So basically, we're in right now, and we're just witnessing what's going on.
let's say if that is what it is, right? I don't know if that is what
I
it
don't
is
know
or not,
that-
because
yeah.
it's a subjective thing.
Yeah.
So go on.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. It's like, so if all we're doing is witnessing what's going on, then who's the influencer of what is going on?
You
Like-
mean the observer of what is going
So
on?
what's going on? So let's say, for example, you did all your Japan thing and you're trying to figure out. It's like, that's action in the simulation.
Right?
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
So how
planned
can
to.
you influence? Okay, so
I was planning something to do. That's the brain's activity to figure out what to do.
okay.
But there's a trap of me getting into some side street or something, and then I cannot get out of it.
Okay.
And I was talking that if I feel it, again, feeling, not brain, but some inner sensation tells me this is not going anywhere, and I'm starting to struggle or something. I'm thinking there's something wrong. Maybe everybody does that, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't occur to you. So you get more trapped and trapped and trapped because the issue is so strong and pull is so strong. And that's when you really have to keep silence and watch it.
Okay.
And when you are accustomed to do it because of the meditation and the Joe Ricky, I mentioned the steady force of coming from the heart to listen to the aliveness. And if the aliveness is gone like a biofeedback, the meter without any digital is a feeling inside the body starting to scream like a stomach is hurting. So you just need to listen instead of pointing and being occupied in this thought. I mean, but that's just a logical explanation, but I don't know if it carries that weight. But that's what it is, if I were to explain it. But you have to help me, if you follow what I said, to...
Okay, say it again.
Well, we may have to go back there. What I said is that, like, I'm using my brain to talk to you,
Yes.
and I'm not upset or anything,
Yes.
so it's okay.
Yeah.
But if you're not getting it, or if I'm not being able to explain it, I may start to think, and it's like pulling myself, or the some stomach feeling or the body feeling, and then I have to change the tact. It's like I'm going to the wrong branches, and
Yeah.
I have to go back to the root of the branches
Yeah.
or the tree trunk or the root to say, wait a minute, what's really is happening? Was I being too caught up in there? So I have to get to the state of the open-mindedness to know where I was, because there's no map. You cannot locate. But if you have a map, root to the branch or the heart to the brain, and you have the measurement to explain that this is getting to the point that you have to detract or go backward instead of going deeper,
Okay.
and revisit the issue. And even if you do that, it may come back there or try this and it may not work. So you may have to go back and forth. But if you did it many times, then you have to go much deeper to the point that no thinking, just let it be. Because it's not going anywhere. What's the best thing if you're not going anywhere? Don't do anything, right?
Yeah.
So you just stay calm and revisit the core of your being, the heart, and the body sensation. And the way I can explain to myself is that I have this serenity or transparency or body sensation welling up from the root. And that is aliveness that I feel. So when I feel that, because my attention goes to that aliveness, and therefore all the simulation, the idea that I had is gone. because you cannot do two things at the same time. You can either do into the brain or go into the heart to balance out. Balance out meaning find the passage. If it doesn't work, you have to try other method. It's kind of like a triangulating. That's another word that I use. You need to have a reference point, and inner body sensation is the way of characterizing what inner voice is, or the heart telling you is. And the heart doesn't tell you anything, it's just quiet. But aliveness is the expression of heart.
Aliveness is the expression of heart.
Yeah,
Okay.
because when you, what would be a good example? Liveliness.
Yeah.
And the smile comes with the liveliness. And that the childlikeness is also there, the exploratory feeling is there. And that is you're coming back to the, almost like a root of who you are.
Yeah.
It could be not like a childlikeness, but could be a serenity and calmness,
Yeah.
pure calm, and silence to speak. And the whole universe is quiet, and the nothingness. And to me, nothingness is another way to explain what transparency is nothing, that there's nothing blocking.
Yeah.
So the universe is speaking, so to speak, without saying anything, but you just sense something by the form of aliveness or serenity or peace. The peace is the right word. Eternal peace, because that's where we came from, and that's where we are, we can be, and then we will be, always there, which is the source of where we are. That's the way I try to explain.
Yeah.
So what did I say in relation to your thinking? You can try.
In summary, I think the main thing that I was asking is like, how do we know where we're going if we're in a simulation? Or how can we, you know what I mean? And so
If we are in
your
a
answer,
simulation, how do we know where we are going?
How are we going where we're going? Like, if you're just a witness, then why aren't we just sitting? Why aren't we just not?
But let's
But
try
you're
this.
saying
Let's try this
the
way.
aliveness
Let's try
is
this
what?
one.
Inspiration.
Let's try this one. Seeking mind is not where I want to be, because seeking is finding the solution, and the simulation is usually seeking something.
Okay.
And therefore, if the seeking is done, I call it the thy will be done.
Yeah.
Will of the universe.
Yeah.
It's not ego seeking, it's a universe seeking.
Yeah.
And I'm totally happy with it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it makes sense,
It's
because
a happiness.
that's
the key.
that's
This is the key.
That's where we came from.
Yeah.
The magic happened, and it's still happening.
Yeah.
And the stomach is processing, and all that stuff happened without your thinking.
Yeah.
So you get to the primitive state of who you are,
Yeah.
which is aliveness, but also you can call it there's no blockage, so you don't have stiffness,
Yeah.
and like a baby-like, happy,
Yeah.
inquisitive, you
Yeah.
know, kind of thing. So there's no seeking mind. The simulation only happens when there's objective function, something you want to do,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You want to figure out in Japan,
Yeah.
you know, Kyoto or
Yeah.
Matsuzaki, or in your case of a simulation, where is it going?
Yeah.
You're seeking where it's going to.
Yeah.
It's the mind playing the game.
Yeah. And it's only here.
It's only
And it's only in the body with the emotions that we can feel the vitality and the inspiration.
right.
So really, the answer to the question is how you.
That's listening
Yeah,
to
from
your heart,
one-
right?
Yeah. From when you get you go from one space to the other by following your joy or your
Aliveness,
aliveness.
or the.
Yeah. That's the only way you get from one place to the other, not from the thinking mind.
There's no way of being able to do it from the thinking mind.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Theoretically, you may be able to do it, but physically, biologically, you're not equipped to do that. I know it.
Okay, why is that?
Because the thinking is made for the dualistic way of doing things. It's not absolute. It's the fakeness, the creation under a certain assumption you are seeking.
Yeah.
But the assumption could be wrong, and you could be defeating yourself.
Always.
Yeah, it's usually because you're limited being.
Yeah.
So, but the brain can function.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, so that is the answer to the question.
Okay.
That is good. Because the brain. And
Okay, summarize what you understood.
This is what you were saying though. The brain. This is why the brain is fake. Because the brain
that's right.
literally can't.
Right.
The brain literally can't.
Yeah, it's no end.
The brain is its only capacity is to create the dualistic nature.
Right. Yeah, I think you can say that because that's
And then
what the brain does.
The heart is that is the way that the actions actually happen.
Yeah, right. Action meaning live life, for example.
Life
yeah.
force, yeah.
Otherwise, the fakeness cannot live on its own.
True.
Well, it can influence the aliveness in a negative way.
Yeah.
And that's very sad because you commit suicide too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really sad. It's really, really sad. There's no way out because you think the brain is the answer. That's the problem. Brain is not the answer, okay? Just to slap your face. Yeah. That's the Zen approach of cuts and the hitting. Wake up. But if you don't wake up, what do? Jump off.
Yeah, true.
And you cannot do anything because it's self-generated. The self, it has to be no self.
Okay.
Self is the ego.
Yeah.
Which is created by the mind.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing in the world for many 90% people possibly, and I'm the same at occasion.
Yeah.
But I know the trap, and the traps are everywhere. So the awareness is the only way, because logically you cannot solve it.
Yeah.
Logically you're caught up in the logic, and the logic can go over another logic. That's the play of the logic.
Yeah.
What if, but if.
Yeah.
And it's no end. So you have to stop that cycle of stupidity. And to do it is do nothing. That's why it's very counterintuitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like going back to the baby, be happy.
Because you can't actually even think about this, because once you think about it, you're out of the.
Yeah, you're out of the loop, out of the core. You're already off.
So that's why it's interesting to.
It's very interesting.
Reason.
And you have to work with yourself.
Yeah.
The knowing doesn't do any good because you have to be able to do it. And you have to do over and over and over. That's why I'm spending so much time. And I must be stupid to do it, right?
No, it's good.
But I think it's not bad.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's better to be awake than asleep, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of fakeness everywhere.
Yeah, and I think it depends on who you talk to, if it's better to be awake.
And that's why I was talking today about the video, and I had this hydrangea.
Yeah.
And I was eating my breakfast, and I could communicate with the hydrangea.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what I said in the YouTube, but I made it, right? Because Christmas Day, I'm alone, and there's hydrangea.
It's one.
And what the message, I don't remember anyway, but there was some message I wanted to share to myself.
Yeah.
To convey the importance of that.
Yeah.
What other people may think is stupid about talking to the hydrangea. But there's a peace and beauty in that moment.
Yeah.
So mind may say, supposedly you're not supposed to be alone. No, this is everything I got. That's what I was. Maybe there's something about that I just want to confirm to myself at the moment. And I did a few more of those things as usual, right? Because if I'm feeling it and if I say that, it may communicate somewhere, sometime, in some way, that's, and it's also communicating to myself.
Yeah. Which is the oneness.
Right, one to one, you to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's endlessly interesting thing because this brain is kind of complex, but we can make it simpler, understand it, and there are lots of stuff that is amazing. And if I may just jump off and to say more about it, because I was interested in Zen and Buddhism and so forth, but I see it's not just this or that, but it's the way of how we live our life, and therefore you don't have to confine to meditate or Zen or koan or this and that, but the root of it, if we understand it, applies to everything. So the art and the sports and the investment, the management, and in the last few days I was listening to Jeff Bezos from Amazon, and the other guy, Suri is his last name, I forgot his first name, but anyway, he's a historian. And it was just a wonderful conversation. Although the topic was management, or the other topic was about the civil war or something like that, but down deep, and what they are talking about, for example, Jeff Bezos was talking about how he does the meeting. And he was talking, if he says something early on, that would corrupt the thing because he's the CEO, the executive meeting, because that put the kind of pressure to others to be intimidated. So he said he will be the last one to speak. And I thought that's quite right. Because the brain shouldn't, but let the heart speak, or the shop floor, the data to come out.
Yeah.
That's why it's about the AI too, the deep learning, which is not the top down, but the bottom up, and the synthesizing the information to come up, the root to the branches to come up to the answer. So he practiced that, even though he may not have done any meditation or Zen. I think he may have, but I don't know. Actually, Ray Dalio is another one I thought about. He's also talking about, when this is the hedge fund manager, the largest hedge fund in the world. But when he lost lots of money, he developed the new hedge fund, and the number one in the world. And when he started to do that, he hired the people who have different opinions, not agreeing to him. And that's the same sense I had with Jeff Bezos talking about his meeting, which is let people to wonder is the way.
Yeah.
Instead of a PowerPoint logical presentation.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's the incorporating and the energizing. And that's all I did with my companies, with the management.
Oh, I bet.
The mini company, to, empowering them.
Yeah.
Instead of wait for me to say or something.
Yeah.
But you are the one who is there at the ground level, whatever, doing more than anyone else about what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's the same story that I felt, yes. So the stuff I've done and all the message, and whether it's called the Zen or Christianity, doesn't matter. All the ones who's got the masterful skills. And I thought about you too. You do the bicycle.
Yeah.
And you're the master of it, or the surfer, or the painting. And lots of stuff about the body and the reaction and how to do it. And it is the decentralized image of whatever happened in the past is, inside of you. So whoever has become the master has to fail a lot and learn a lot.
Yeah.
And it may not show up in the words, but it's inside of you. And when something happens, then you can respond to that. So that's the human, but the people the flower, that's the same thing. All the mistakes that they have done, and they came up with this wonderful thing. And I was thinking about that, but that's already too much to say.
Yeah.
But that's
this is good.
It is totally good. I can list all the things that I thought about because it's all point that you said about the seeking, but it's not seeking, but it's coming out, manifesting of the way.
It is. And that is what I'm talking about.
That is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Exactly. I feel like, and that sums everything up. That's manifestation.
Yeah, right. So, it's just interesting.
I know.
It's totally
I know. That's what's also fascinating. If you let go and witness, you aren't controlling the flow, but you are the flow.
You don't have to.
Right?
Yeah.
You are the flow. You are the flow.
Yeah.
You're not controlling the flow. So
Yeah.
my thing about manifestation, it's like, wait, did I just like cause this, or like what's going on?
Right.
You know, like
The luck is. I had a series of video about the luck.
Oh, really?
Luck is the same thing because you notice it.
yeah,
You're not closed, so you notice the luck, the ideas coming up. It's already there.
yeah,
But we always pass it, and we just don't notice it because our mind is too much focused in this and that. So I think I posted like 5 videos on the, why luck is. I forgot the title or anything.
luck.
How we understand luck. Don't treat luck something you're missing,
Yeah,
but you're finding.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's and how to find it. Listen and open up and stop your thinking.
That's good.
And be ready. And that's the meeting and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
also the painters and everybody.
Yeah.
Whoever go through the process has gone through that.
Yeah,
And I'm only a tiny bit of drawing my own way. But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It just doesn't matter
Yeah.
what level you are.
yeah,
Because what other way, I don't know. So, of course, we carry the, handicap or the traumatic experience in a different degree. So some of those are not easy to overcome. But attitudinally, being sincere and truthful to face it. And with that spirit, I'm sure that has to be a way to go through it.
it has to be.
Yeah.
This is good.
So we want to share it. We want to share it. We want to have the evidence of it, the success story or
Yeah.
something, an honest, open, just like the meeting I was talking about, not
Yeah.
the top down, but
Yeah,
what do you think?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And curiosity,
Yeah, that's right. Childlikeness.
childlikeness, heart-centered.
Right.
Yeah, all of that.
So I think without trained in Zen or meditation, there are lots of people who have that skill. And I was thinking about Aboriginal. That's one of the videos I did like yesterday. Maybe I mentioned to you, but the Aboriginal, maybe that's today, they can know where the water hole is without knowing.
Yeah, the knowing.
It's the same thing, accumulated experiential wisdom coming
Yeah.
out to which way, and you can find it.
Yeah.
Whether it's that one or stroke of the painting
Yeah.
or action. And hopefully I can speak better. If there's that energy. It will come is the only way I can think, instead of worrying about it.
Yeah.
Because it's the repetition is the mother of the skill to
Yeah.
approach this and that and keep dedicated effort to
Yeah.
have it going. I mean, if you have interest to be like that, then you could succeed.
Yeah.
Succeed in the sense of, not the typical success of the world, but
Yeah.
the, human.
Yeah. This is good.
So you figured out the simulation stuff already, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I know. I get it now.
Okay.
Just because what we're talking about, the witnessing in the heart.
Okay, that's good.